Good morning again. Daniel again. Hope you had your breakfast tacos this morning. I actually had oatmeal, trying to eat healthier. That happens when you get into your um, middle. Well, I'm not that old, whatever. Campfire story number 2. I got some good responses from the first one that I told about BOA 2000, about the rainout, about the sandwich. Let's talk about private teachers for a second. Let's preface this first by saying that I have nothing but admiration and respect for anyone who teaches lessons privately for music. It's a very hard gig to keep up with. There can be a lot of travel involved. That gas money comes out of their own pocket. Some private teachers use those lessons as a primary source of income, which can be very difficult. A lot of the times, speaking with friends that used to teach, used to do private lessons when they were getting out of college, some of the time the kids don't show up, and you're out that money. You traveled, to a school maybe halfway across town. They're not there. I had a private teacher once in 8th grade. I was an oboe player, in case you were wondering or didn't know. And the thing about the instrument itself is that everyone tells you, every director will tell you, if you want to be any good at this instrument, you have to take private lessons. There's some high schools that make their students take private lessons. It's like part of the curriculum. My school never had that. It was just one of those things that was highly suggested. So I thought, okay, 8th grade, let's start getting a little bit more serious about the instrument. I was a decent player at the time. I thought, okay, let's start doing private lessons. So I met this woman, and I'm not going to release her name. Did private lessons with her for several months. Then, and things were going great. Had a great relationship with her. Very nice, very sweet, very easy to work with. Then it came time to start transitioning into high school. I thought, okay, what do I want to do? I had two options, basically. I could continue with my instrument and see how that goes, or I could try out for the basketball team in high school. Because back then I had a pretty decent jump shot. So, a couple of months before it was time to graduate and go to high school, I broke it off with my private teacher. And if you've ever had to end a professional relationship with a private teacher, it is so awkward. And I totally get it, because you're basically taking money off of their plate. That's the reality of it. But it's so awkward. And at that point, I hadn't really had a girlfriend at the time. I didn't know what it was like to dump somebody, either professionally or in my personal life. So I didn't know how to handle it. So one day I was in the band hall. It was after school. Private teacher comes in. Okay, Daniel, we're going to learn how to do this and this and this. And I was like, I think we need to talk. Just unnecessarily awkward. So I was like, right now I'm planning on trying out for the basketball team, and I don't want to waste your time doing lessons if I'm going to end up doing something else in high school. And she said, okay, I understand that. Well, good luck to you. Bye, basically. Well, I had a change of heart right before it became time to audition for the high school band. I just changed my mind all of a sudden. I thought, okay, I've got about a month before auditions. I said, here's what I'll do. I'll get the source, I'll get the material that I need, the audition packet. I'll learn all of my scales, major and minor. I'll learn all of them until I can play them in my sleep. Prepared material that they gave out, I'll learn it, I'll memorize it. I'll just go full force on it. I'll audition. If I'm not happy with my placement, I'll just say that, I don't want to do it, and I'll try out for the basketball team. I had no plan C after that. If I tried out for the basketball team and I didn't get in, I have absolutely no idea what I would have done. So sure enough, I took that month. And by the way, I didn't tell my private teacher that I was doing that. Took the month, learned all the material, went and tried out, and I made top ensemble as a freshman. Great. The rest is history. I told you that story to tell you this story. And I promise this has a payoff. I promise it has a payoff. Region band. If you did high school band in the state of Texas, you know all about the region band audition process. You get a book of etudes for oboes and saxophones. It was the Furling book. I'm sure some of you people that play that instrument know all about it. The 40 Famous Studies by Furling. I think I still have it in my closet somewhere. It's got coffee stains on it, I'm sure, by now. You, 3 etudes or whatever they pick out. You learn them. You go to the audition process. You play them. First is kind of like the district tryouts. Then you get to advance to region. Then you get to advance to area. And then from area, they determine who's going to go be in the all-state band. Freshman year, I didn't pay much attention to it. So I hacked my way through the audition and pretty much embarrassed myself. I thought, okay, let's try to do better the next year. Sophomore year, did okay. Junior, did a little bit better. Then came my senior year. And I thought, okay, same mindset as I had in 8th grade. I'm going to go full force. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to learn this thing backwards and forwards. I'm going to be able to play it in my sleep. I'm going to be able to play it in the bathtub. I'm going to be able to play it anywhere. So I went in there. I felt pretty confident. Cool. Did the audition. I was like, all right. I feel like I have command over my instrument. This is pretty neat. The way that our region and the way that our area worked for our instrument was like this. They took the top 4 players in the room at the district tryouts, and they basically gave them a title. If you were first or second place in the room, you got to advance to the region competition round. You would make region band, and you would advance to the region round. That would determine whether you get to go to area or not. If you were third or fourth, you got all-district honors, and it's just a title. There's no all-district band there's no physical all-district ensemble that you play with. If you make all-district, but don't make region, then, your audition process is done. So after all that work, and after all that time I spent, I ended up getting third. I thought, damn it, third place after all that work I put in. I was pretty disappointed in myself. And this is why. This is how disappointed I was. After the audition process, I jumped in my car, drove to Wendy's, ordered, I'm not kidding you, ordered a triple cheeseburger with chicken nuggets with extra barbecue sauce, large fries, large Dr. Pepper, and I ate the entire thing. I was that depressed. I was, not happy. However, there was some light at the end of the tunnel. Turns out, one of the kids in the room, I can't remember if he got first or second, he tried out on English horn as well. And when you try out on 2 different instruments, in the district round and you are invited to advance on both instruments, you have to pick one or the other. You basically, I don't know if they make you choose right then and there, but you have to declare which one you're going to continue the audition process on. That person ended up choosing English horn. So a day or two after the audition, I got a call saying, congratulations, you made region band. You get to continue the audition. I was like, okay, cool. It was by technicality, but hell, I'll take it. With the way our numbers worked in our region and in our area, for the oboe instrumentation, if you qualified for region band at district tryouts, you automatically advanced to area. There were two people that qualified for region band from one half of the region, and there were two other kids from the other half of the region that advanced. So there's 4 people total. And I think we were one of the few instruments that actually had that. Like if you went to the saxophone room, you advanced to region, you would try out for which region band you would get. However, everyone would make region band, but there would only be a certain amount of people that would advance to area. With us, it was just us 4. That was it. We got to move on automatically. So the region band audition was one of the most fun times I've ever had in my life, because all of a sudden we went for district tryouts, there were 16 kids in the room, including myself. That process took, 2.5 hours or something like that. Now, it's not as bad as the trumpet room when they would, go in the room at 9 o'clock in the morning and they wouldn't leave until the sun had set. So we go to region band tryouts. Cool. It's basically a free roll. It's a crapshoot. And we all knew each other too. We all competed against each other in marching band. We've auditioned with each other in the room. Like we kind of knew who we were, and we were very encouraging of each other. No animosity at all. We all got along. There's 4 of us in the room. It's like, great. So we're just playing for region placements. We all know we've got another audition process in a month for area. So I go in the room, and it was one of the best auditions I've ever had in my life. And I mean, I felt like I had total control over my horn. Anything technical passage related, I could just nail. I thought I was doing well, all that stuff. The results came out, 4th place out of 4 people. And I was like, damn it! Are you kidding me? What do I have to do to get over this hump? Shortly after the results went up, my director came up to me. And he pulled me to the side and he said, hey, I just got an earful from one of your judges. And I said, really? Why? Guess who was one of the judges in the room at my region band audition? It was the private teacher I broke up with 4 years prior. Apparently, and I have no reason to not believe my director, apparently she went up to him after the audition process and chewed him out and said that I would have been a better player had I stuck with her. She said that my tone had not changed in 4 years. She said something to the effect of, the second he started playing, I knew it was him. Are you kidding me? 4 years later, and you bring this up now? Ridiculous. I was in shock. What do you do at that point? That's insane. If you don't, it was one of those things where if you didn't think I was a good player, okay, I'll practice harder or something like that. But I don't know, this sort of thing just kind of invalidated everything. It's like if you knew who I was, you probably should have. I don't know if there's like a recusal process or something, but damn. like went and chewed him out. And it was a big enough deal that my director came up to me and informed me of the decision. I just sat there just completely, I couldn't move. I said I thought I was done with this lady. It was ridiculous. Anyways, that happened. And I got to see the results too of that audition. One of the judges had me basically fourth place in the room, dead last. And the other two judges basically had me near the top. So I was like, okay, well, that's a thing. And it really didn't matter. I don't want to say it didn't matter to me, because obviously I'm talking about it after, it happened 15 years ago. But I was like, wow, talk about a grudge. Can you imagine holding on to something for 15 years? You harbor it deep down inside, and then finally you get to release that sort of thing. And this is not, to me, wasn't that big of a deal. I stopped taking lessons from this woman, but I don't think I committed a crime or anything. And all of a sudden you get to release it. Now that's from what I understand, judges don't know the names of the kids that are auditioning until after the event. It's just letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D. So that was my experience with a private teacher. I never took private lessons after I stopped seeing her in 8th grade. And I actually got pretty far in terms of how I was with my instrument. Anyways, that audition happened. Then it came to the area contest, and I just got my butt completely kicked. Because we were in our area, we had a couple of schools from the Houston area. It was basically half of San Antonio, and then a couple of schools from the Houston area. The kids from the Houston area, they all took private lessons, and they handed my ass to me on a platter. I didn't even come. I was like 5 chairs away from making state, but it wasn't even close. Like, I just got my butt kicked. So anyway, there's that. I had been thinking about that for a couple of days of how I would phrase it, how I would say it, but it is what it is. Private teachers, you people are great. Unfortunately, the experience I had with mine was, I don't know, a little interesting, to say the least. I'm done here. Let me know if you have any suggestions, comments, questions, anything else. Subscribe on iTunes. It's up on SoundCloud. I try to put a YouTube version of it somewhere. Anyways, I'm done here. I'll talk to y'all very soon. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.